Now we are going to have the procedures for inquest proceedings. So still on the Department Circular number 15 that was issued by the Department of Justice under the Rule number 5, Section number 13. So ano ba yung step-by-step process? Tingnan po natin. So first, on the filing of the original of the referral letter including 2 duplicate copies. So original referral letter, no? Take note, sabi po natin, no, pag inquest proceeding, usually it is conducted to determine the legality of the arrest of a person arrested without a warrant. So now, the referral letter should include 2 duplicate copies, no? It is prepared by the law enforcement agency or by a private citizen who arrested a person without a warrant of arrest. Okay? Take note, yung warrantless arrest, sabi natin nga ay yan din po ay citizen's arrest kasi pwedeng mang-aresto ang civilian. So it is covered on this procedure, no? So do not forget the 12 hours, 18 hours, and 36 hours. So 12 hours is given or yan po yung palugit natin kapag yung krimen ay punishable ng light penalties or usually that yan po ay arresto minor, no? But kapag yan po ay punishable ng correctional penalties or their equivalent, no? Usually yan po ay 1 month and 1 day or 1 month and 1 day to 6 years, no? 18 hours po ang palugit. Pero kapag yan po ay 36, no, hours for yan naman po ay kapag punishable ng afflictive or capital penalties, no? So that is yan po yung nakasaad din po sa ating revised penal code. So the referral letter shall include all the required evidence, the affidavit of arrest, investigation report, complaint affidavit, and judicial affidavit, among others. So palugit po ito para makapag-file na po tayo. Kumbaga, no, makapag-file na po tayo ng proper accusation dun sa taong na aresto natin. Okay? So upon lumipas po ang 12 hours halimbawa at hindi po natin nasampahan ng kaukulang complaint, no? Then yan po ay kailangan natin siyang i-release. Pero hindi po ibig sabihin na wala na po tayong gagawin. Ibig sabihin pa rin po noon ay pwede pa rin nating ipagpatuloy yung ating ginagawang investigation, no? So in order to avoid for us to be filed on the violation of this procedure, kailangan lang natin siyang palayain. So the referral letter shall include all the required evidence, no? Yung nabanggit po natin kanina. So take note also that again, if the person is a CICL or a child in conflict with the law, no? So then the inquest proceeding shall be conducted pursuant to RA 9344. So hindi po yung itong DOJ Department Circular ang mag-i-effect, no? Hindi yung rules ng DOJ Circular na ito. Next. So the docket section shall then immediately forward the referral of to the head of the prosecution office or his or designated prosecutor, who shall provisionally determine the validity of the warrantless arrest for purposes of ascertaining whether the person detained should remain in the custody and be charged with the crime for which she was arrested without a warrant. Okay, so again, bibigyan na nila na kumbaga ng action, no? Iimbestigahan na nila, no? Ano yung hinahanap nila, kung yan ba ay yung taong yan ay kailangan pang ikulong o kaya dapat nasampahan ng kaukulang complaint. Okay, so next, should the warrantless arrest be valid, the referral shall be evaluated for the completeness of the required evidence that will establish the elements of the crime, offense, and the availability of the testimonial, real object, and documentary evidence. Only referrals determined to be complete shall be docketed and assigned to an inquest prosecutor. Okay? So, ito po ay kailangan din nating tandaan. So kapag merong referral na kompleto ng attachments, then yan lang po yung ipapasa daw nila or i-line up nila na tatrabahuin kumbaga ni inquest prosecutor. That is in simplest term. Next, so kapag incomplete naman yung referral, so the referring LEA or law enforcement agency or arresting private citizen shall be required to submit the lacking evidence within the applicable period under Article 125 or ano yon, yung period na tinutukoy. Pag po natin kalimutan yung 18 or 12, 18, 36 hours na palugit ng batas. So once completed, the case shall be docketed for inquest. Next, should the LEA or the private citizen concerned fail to submit the required evidence, yung pinapapasa pa na additional evidence ni prosecutor dun sa palugit na 12, 1836 na yan, the arrested person shall be ordered to be released. Yan po yung sinasabi natin kanina. Kailangan pong i-release na yung taong na-aresto natin. And the records returned to the referring LEA o ibabalik nila din yung mga documents doon sa ng arestong mga law enforcer or doon sa civilian na ng aresto. Be referred to the nearest LEA that exercise jurisdiction. Okay? Over the place where the crime or offense or violations of ordinance was committed for the possible refiling of the complaint. So once na pinagpatuloy nila yung investigation at na kompleto na nila yung mga documents needed or evidences needed by the prosecutor, they can refile the complaint. Next, should the prosecution office medyo mabagal. Okay, should the prosecution office determine that the warrantless arrest was invalid, then automatically yan po kailangang ma-release agad yung tao. Okay, the arrested person shall be ordered his release. Next, during the inquest proceeding, the prosecutor shall ensure that the respondent is represented by the counsel, that the said counsel has received the referral and its attachments. The inquest prosecutor shall explain to the arrested person the nature of the proceedings, the charges against him or her, and his option to avail his or her right to a preliminary investigation. Thereafter, the inquest prosecutor shall administer the oath for all the affiants and whenever necessary, the conduct of clarificatory questioning to clarify factual issues. Next, so if the respondent opts or ginusto niya yung pagkandak ng PI, he shall be required to sign a waiver of the provisions of Article 125. Or sasabihin niya, okay lang, regular preliminary investigation na ang isagawa niyo sa akin. Then, dapat magpapirma tayo ng waiver no Article 125. Okay? Or yung may kinalaman dun sa time limit na binigay na palugit. Okay? So, notwithstanding the said waiver, the respondent may apply for bail, or if not, the respondent may file for a bail, and the investigation must be terminated within 15 calendar days from inception. So, palugit nila for the conduct of the inquest ay 15 calendar days. So, the inquest prosecutor shall immediately resolve the case discussing the following. Provisional determination regarding validity ng warrantless arrest, and hindi mawawala in the inquest also the existence of prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. So if there is the presence of these two, then the prosecutor shall prepare the information and he will file it to the court. So that is for the regular, or that is for the face-to-face inquest proceeding. Now on the e-inquest or electronic inquest naman. So ano po yung mga ano po yung procedure nila? So the inquest prosecutor, on his or her own initiative upon request of the referring LEA or law enforcement agency or concerned private citizen, may opt for the conduct of e-inquest, provided that both prosecution office and the parties have access to ICT, no, or information communication technology. So e-inquest is conducted following the same procedure under Section 13 or yung binanggit natin previously, sinamarize natin previously on the previous slides, except that the referral letter and all required documentary evidence in portable data form, okay, or portable data format or PDF file, okay. So they are e-filed to the official email address of the prosecution office, and the proceedings are conducted through video conferencing via any platform whichever is practicable. So it may be via Zoom, ito po yung binanggit mismo sa department circular, via Zoom platform, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, among others, or kahit na ano na accessible sa lahat ng parties. So, the referring law enforcement agency or the arresting private citizen and the counsel of the respondent shall be provided with the details of the video conferencing. So, the date, the time, access link, username, and passcode which shall be recorded. No? During the video conference, the inquest prosecutor shall ensure the attendance of the parties and verify their identities. Ito yung dagdag trabaho sa part ng prosecutor. Kasi meron nga namang mga iba, baka gagamit ng fake account or proxy. No? So, hindi sila mismo yung umaattend, ibang tao. Record all relevant events and narrations in the minutes. Administer the oath or affirmation and clarify factual issues if any. So if the respondent avails or of his her right to a preliminary investigation, then the inquest prosecutor shall direct the referring LEA, the arresting private citizen, or the counsel for the respondent to facilitate the execution of the waiver of Article 125 of the revised Penal Code or as amended. No? The waiver signed by the respondent and his or counsel shall be transmitted to the inquest prosecutor. So again, kapag ito ay nag-avail siya ng avails of his right to a preliminary investigation instead of an inquest proceeding. So the hard copy of the original or two duplicate copies of the referral letter or all the required documents in such number of copies as there are respondents, as well as the original of the waiver, if applicable, shall be submitted to the prosecution office. Parang doon sa proseso po ng preliminary investigation na yung original copy po ng mga affidavits ay kailangan din or hard copies ay masubmit din sa office of the prosecutor. So now that is on the e-inquest. So now what is a resolution? That is the ruling. Again, we mentioned this a while ago in the previous slides, that the ruling or the disposition, or yung sabi natin, simplest term, kumbaga ito yung judgment naman ni prosecutor. Kasi kung sa court merong judge at ang tawag doon sa decision na ay judgment, ang tawag po naman natin dito ay yan yung resolution na tinatawag natin. Okay? Ruling or disposition of the prosecutor on the preliminary investigation or inquest proceedings that was conducted. So this is, if the decision is there is a prima facie evidence, then information should be filed in the court. If kapag walang prima facie evidence or invalid yung arrest, usually yan po ay dismissal of the case. So, period to resolve cases, no? So, all preliminary investigation complaints shall be resolved by the investigator or investigating prosecutor within a period of 60 calendar days. At ilang extension ang pwedeng maibigay? Maximum of 30 days. Let us take note of that. Kailan binibigyan ng extension? Kapag capital offenses, no? Mabibigat yung parusa, such as reclusion perpetua yung parusa dyan. Complex issues, no? Masyadong hindi basta-basta yung kaso, kumbaga, or ang dami pang issues na kailangang i-resolve para makapag-decide dun sa iba pang issues. With counter charges, no? So, hindi lang po yung complainant ang merong accusation, but pati na rin po yung respondent. Consolidation of related complaints and reassignment, no? Or nagkaroon po ng reassignment ng prosecutor, then those are the cases that might be given an extension period. Next. So, the recommendatory resolution and information shall be transmitted to the head of office for approval within 5 calendar days. Kapag nagkaroon na po ng resolution and magpa-file na po ng information, 5 days po ang palugit para magpa-approve po yan kay head of the prosecution office. The recommendatory resolution and information shall be acted upon by the Prosecutor General, City Prosecutor, or his duly authorized deputies within 10 calendar days from the receipt of the resolution and information. So, ito transmission, no? Pag ito acted upon or trabahuin na or bigyan niya ng decision yung transmit or binigay na resolution or recommended resolution or information. The resolution shall be promulgated within 5 days from its approval. So, inquest referral shall be resolved within the day and transmitted to the head of office for approval on the next working day. That is the difference on the inquest. So, motion for reconsideration. So, the aggrieved party may file a motion for reconsideration. Take note, usapang prosecution component pa rin tayo, ha? So, kapag nagkaroon na ng resolution si prosecutor and approved na, so the aggrieved party may file a motion for reconsideration regarding that resolution within 15 days from its receipt, no? So, the motion for reconsideration shall be assigned to investigating prosecutor or another prosecutor within 3 days naman from the filing, no? It shall be resolved within 30 days from the date of assignment.